Welcome. It's April 8th here at the City Council chambers. I want to welcome you to our briefing with what's been happening in the city regarding COVID-19. I want to especially thank City TV 3 for broadcasting this. This is live on City TV 3, as well as this is being broadcast on Facebook Live. And want to thank our media partner, WGNS. They've been here for 73 plus years and was on the radio with Bart this morning. They're also broadcasting this live to those who may not be able to watch it on TV or to watch it on social media. Give you a couple of updates. Some of this has already been published, not only by the city, by the state, but in Tennessee right now we have 4,362 cases in statewide. That's up 224 from yesterday. 79 total fatalities, up 7 from yesterday. Total hospitalizations, we have 449. That's up 41 from yesterday. In a positive note that there's 592 who've recovered, and that's up from 126 from yesterday. There's been 56,618 total tests in Tennessee, 4,362 positives, and 52,256 have tested negative. Something we get a lot of questions about. There's 34% of the hospital beds statewide have been utilized, 31% of the ICU beds, and 72% of the ventilators. Now, obviously, that's not all COVID, but that's where that stands statewide. Our PPE, which stands for personal protective equipment, there's been 18 million items received, 1,278 shipments, specifically in Rutherford County. Chris Clark, the Emergency Services Director, is doing a phenomenal job with the group that the mayors have put together at the EOC. We have received, and Mayor Ketron has done a good job on this as well, we've received the amount of PPEs that we feel like that we need. We put an additional order in today for 5,000 more N95 masks, so we're looking good from our standpoint. We feel like countywide. In Rutherford County, we had, get to my numbers here, since March the 20th, we've had 193 positive tests, so that's 6/100 of our population have tested positive. The average the last 6 days, I thought this was interesting when I put these numbers together, we're averaging 13.6 positive tests per day, and that's over the last 6 days. Once the testing ramped up, the numbers dramatically increased, but now you're really seeing, and I don't think anyone can predict, but you're seeing about 14 positive tests per day in Rutherford County. We were asked a question about producing heat maps inside the city that would show specific neighborhoods that, or excuse me, not neighborhoods, but we could show areas where there's a concentration, and what we have right now, this past weekend, as I've gone on some of these briefings, I've explained that we are one of the 89 counties that were considered a rural health district. We have a county health department that answers to the state, so those items are pushed down from the state. There's 6 metro health departments, Davidson County, Hamilton County, there's Shelby County, several others. But we're under state guidance. We do and have gotten released information to where we can have a heat map for our emergency service providers, but part of the MOU was that can't be released. So wanted to make sure that we give that information. Chris had texted me and said, everything seems somewhat stable at this time. We must continue to follow instructions set forth by the CDC and our governor. Their executive order, we're saving lives by doing this, and I could not agree more. We have the Rutherford County Emergency Communication Board completed a memorandum of understanding with Rutherford County Public Safety Answering Points. This MOU allows the Emergency Communication Board to share line-level information, names and addresses of COVID-19 positive citizens with first responders only. So that goes again to what we were talking about. Some other information that I thought was good for everyone to know: Executive Order 22, that's what the governor put in place. It'll be 2 weeks this Saturday. Businesses or organizations that do not perform essential services shall not be open for access or use by the public or its members. You can go to tn.gov cdc.gov/governor/COVID-19 to see those essential businesses. Our executive order, I extended that again this past Saturday, and really anticipate that we will extend our executive order to mirror what the governor or the state does. I've been asked that question. I want to be able to get that lifted as soon as we possibly can, but at the same time, we need to listen to the state and also listen to our medical professionals. So I do anticipate that will continue for the foreseeable future. There's helpful links to assist workers and businesses that are impacted. Workers displaced by the impact of the pandemic can apply for unemployment through www.jobsfortn.gov, and that's JOBS for the number TN.gov. Small businesses can apply for the Paycheck Protection Program. You can go through, easily Google the PPP program, and that will give you any information you want on that. I've had some experience with that over the last several days, and not a very hard process to be able to fill out. You can see the declaration that I had put in place at murfreesboro/1690/coronavirus information. That's on our homepage. It's easy to be able to get that information. You can also watch City TV for updates. There's all kinds of different things that are on our website for you to be able to get that information. If you have any questions, again, you can always email me, McFarland at MurfreesboroTN, and have had many businesses who've done that I can get you information from our team if I don't know the answer. St. Thomas Hospital, I want to read you a text from Gordon. They are doing a phenomenal job there. He did say that he wanted the community to know how much our staff appreciates the community's expressions of support. It does appear the stay-at-home order is having a positive impact, and we're cautiously optimistic that the surge may not be as intense as expected, but we are still planning for the original projection and making sure we are prepared. I think he was fine for me sharing that. So that was something that I thought was very important to be able to show that the stay-at-home order they feel like, helping decrease those numbers. The number one complaint that I've gotten on our stay-at-home order has been some of our hardware and big box stores on specifically Lowe's and Home Depot. And I understand, folks, you're out there, you're at home, and there's a lot of people who are doing projects at home. You have to monitor social distancing. Please make sure the CDC is now recommending that when you go to any of these stores, that if you have a mask or a homemade mask, that you wear those. That's something that's very important. We've been in contact with Home Depot and Lowe's to make sure that their social distancing guidelines are in place. They are considered an essential business under the governor's order. Our Parks and Rec department, the Greenway, is still open. Our fields are open. I think it's very important during this time that our police are monitoring those areas, but it's important for people to be able to get out. Not everyone has a backyard or areas that they can go get out, so I think it's important that the Greenway, you can easily social distance. And what I've been telling people, the Greenway trailheads are open. That doesn't mean if you get out to go to the Greenway that you should be doing other things. You go to the Greenway, walk around, socially distance from people. You can easily do that on the Greenway, but don't go anywhere else unless you absolutely have to. Our police and fire are at full staff. They are doing a phenomenal job. We are all so fortunate to be able to have the police and fire department that we have. All of our emergency service providers. Solid waste is still going. We do have a change at the recycling on Main Street. We got a notification from the county today. The county handles the recycling at Main Street. They have added another container at our recycling center at Main Street for aluminum cans. The distributor now who they take those recycling products to has specified that aluminum cans need to be in a separate container. So steel and tin can go in one container, and then aluminum needs to go in another container. Please make sure you follow that. City Hall is still on limited services. Our group virtually is learning how to be able to provide the services as residents that you need, but we're doing that virtually. I can tell you, I got an email today from someone who has been working with the Building and Codes Department and was talking about how well that they're doing. So I want to really give thanks to all of our employees at the city who are working through things that we've not necessarily anticipated, but they have been able to rise to the occasion. Our IT department has helped with that. City TV 3 has been able to help with that. So we're still on limited access at our City Hall. Want to give you information from Dr. Gilbert at the city schools. The child buses continue to roll for lunch and next day's breakfast with backpacks of food given away on Friday. Please check cityschools.net for the schedule. In addition to meals, we have school supplies and books that are being distributed. And on Mondays and Tuesdays, volunteers are giving out grade level learning activities. Also, parents and children, watch Channel 3 for videos. I know I was just talking with Michael, and they did an event in here today to be able to do some distance learning. Also, please check the Home to School part of the City Schools website. You'll find online activities and resources and links to each individual school's grade level activities. We also have packets out at each school Monday through Thursday that parents can pick up. We start pre-K registration next week. Application forms will be on the website and also in a container outside each school. Parents can mail those applications into the City Schools District Office at 2552 South Church Street, 37127. And she wanted to make sure and relay, she wants to thank the community for the tremendous support that they have given us. The main thing I think we're seeing as a community and that we're really seeing as a city, you know, Bart was asking me today on WGNS what normal is going to be, and I think the answer is no one knows what normal is going to be. I still feel very confident that the city's going to be able to get through this. I think we're cautiously optimistic that hopefully the numbers won't be as bad as some of the models that we've seen, and I've read so much about this over the last weeks and months that, you know, you read all these different models and they change daily or hourly. The one thing I think we want to be able to do is to continue to stress the importance of social distancing. Parents, I have 2 teenagers. I know how hard it is to keep teenagers at home. They want to be around their friends, but it is extremely important as parents that we're making sure that we watch our teenagers, that we watch our kids to know who they're with, when they're with them. They really just need to be with their families right now. We want to make sure that we continue to stress that social distancing. We want to continue to stress, if you're an essential worker, you need to make sure when you're at work to wash your hands. If you are sick, you do not need to go to work. We've gone over that before on the testing, on the difference between assessments and what the testing is. Did just get a text from Gordon. Let me read through this to make sure the governor did extend delay of non-urgent elective surgery procedures through April the 30th. Executive Order 25, and I'm not seeing this was issued this afternoon, so the elective surgeries has been pushed again back to the 30th of this month. In closing, and I'll get to some of the questions, I want to let you know I feel confident in what our team is doing. I feel confident in what you as residents are doing. Again, this is painful and this is not easy for anyone, but the time that we're taking right now is going to allow us as a community to be able to get back to normal as quickly as possible. I know it's Easter week for a lot of our churches. I want to thank you for what you're doing, how you've been able to, even though with some of the orders that have been out, y'all have been phenomenal in making sure that you're watching how people are gathering and being able to still do what you need to do for our community. So I'm very thankful for that. Let's go through and look for a few questions, and I'll do to get as many as I can here. Let me go back. I want y'all to know if I don't answer your question, it's not that I didn't. I was trying to dodge those. It's just the questions sometimes come so fast that I'm not able to be able to get to all those. So thank you. And I want to tell you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate just the texts and emails and phone calls that apparently I look pretty tired, so I need to do something about that. But I want y'all to know how much I appreciate you texting and just saying thank you for what you're doing. It's like when you run a marathon and you have your name on your shirt. When you're at mile 20 and someone shouts your name out, even though you don't know who they are, just hearing your name saying good job, keep going, that pushes you on. So I want to appreciate all those who've given prayers, and can't tell you how many people that have reached out to me to tell me that they're praying, not only for me, but for all the leaders in our communities, in our state, in our country, praying for our emergency service providers. It's hard to put into words how much that means. I like hello everyone, stay home. There's a new campaign that the county has helped push out through this EOC, which is you're safer at home. So stay at home. I think that's absolutely true. Let's see. It needs to be stronger order. We the workers are fed up and stressed out by all the Murfreesboro citizens who are treating their stay-at-home order like a big vacation. Vonda, I appreciate your comments. As a city, I think we've done everything as we can. I think you look at the governor. I don't think we're in a martial law situation, and that's something, when I don't even want to talk about martial law, but at some point, I agree with what you're saying, but we all have to do our part on personal responsibility. We have to do our part to be able to get the word out to our neighbors, to be able to let them know, hey, it's not right that you're out. You need to stay home. And I think as we do that as a community, that we can push through on that. In the local municipalities, we talked about this today, that, we enforce what's pushed down to us, and that's what we're doing. Local level, I still would argue and tell you that local level is your purest form of government. So let's see here. There's people in my neighborhood are out walking in groups of 3 to 5, the same kids. Yeah, I don't know about who's walking with who, and I don't know. I can tell you from my experience, I'm still up every morning. I drive the roads that I have driven for the last 25 years, and the traffic is considerably down than what I'm normally seeing. Now, that's not to say that I'm doing my part, trying not to go to stores. I'm doing my part not to go to places that I shouldn't be going. So, I think everyone is right. Stay home unless you absolutely need to get out. Let's see here. Yeah, and there's a point on here that if you're driving around, you are social distancing. My mother and father-in-law like to get out and drive the back roads in the country. As a matter of fact, I got out the other day, and our 3 kids, this was Sunday, and we just said, okay, we got to get out of the house. So we hopped in the car and we drove around the back roads of Las Casas where I ride my bike. So, I think, again, all of us have to be personally responsible for who we're being around and how we're doing that. So why not shut the schools down? The schools are shut down, and I anticipate the governor's put the order in place for schools to be shut down through the end of April. So I anticipate that to happen. Why is Academy Sports open? They are considered under that order essential. Martin's Garden, same thing. That's considered essential. How long with schools, Peggy? I think that's going to be through the end of April right now, is at least what we're seeing. Is there any idea for schools? That question again. Yeah, if you've got to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, if that's just something you have to do, you shouldn't take anyone with you. You should be going by yourself. And that's something I know in our house. When we're going to the grocery store, we're not taking our kids with us. We're just, one of us goes. And that goes into going through, our grocery stores. If you don't need more than what you need, don't buy it. And there's not anything that we're seeing coming through that the supply chain is being disrupted. So please don't buy more than you buy. I don't know what the deal is with toilet paper, but just buy enough toilet paper for what you need. Let's see. Would you clarify what I was expecting when going grocery shopping and other things? I went to the store this past Saturday and saw several groups shopping. I was under the impression that one person should go instead of a group. Absolutely. That's what's being advised. And I will tell you, the big box stores like Walmart that we've been in contact with, Home Depot, Lowe's, they're limiting the amount of number. Walmart is limiting the amount of numbers based on their square footage. So, Gary, who needs mulch? That's just how it's defined in the essential order. So I can't answer that question. Let me look at my other group here. Let's see. Let me go back and make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, and there's a lot of people, small businesses that, if you can go out and support. There was a question on here I saw about Alex Blue and Dallas and Jane. You've got Demas's doing food trucks. You've got the Alley doing food trucks. I don't want to leave anyone out, but if you can eat out, there's not anything wrong with going and picking something up or having that delivered to you. If you have a 200,000 square foot store, that's still over 700 customers allowed in the store. Nathan, I don't disagree with you, but 200,000 square feet is a pretty big area. So I think the main thing is just social distance. I was listening to a podcast today on the director of in Metro Nashville, and they are absolutely showing or saying the same thing, that if you go out and you go into these stores, you need to you need to be able to go and wear masks. All right, folks, I really appreciate what y'all are doing. Someone was asking me this today, and they were asking, when's this going to be over with? And I think anyone who tells you that they know when it's going to be over with, they're not telling you the truth, because I don't think anyone knows. Especially as we're in Easter week, I'm personally keeping my faith that we're on the downhill slope, that I think that we're, as a community, doing everything that we're supposed to. We need to be responsible. We'll continue doing everything we need to do. The thing I would tell you, as someone who's watching this, there's 390 of you, or 400 of you watching right now just on my feed. I could not be more confident in the leadership in place within our city, within the job that Rutherford County, that their EOC, working with all the different mayors, has put in place. So, from a standpoint of who you have protecting you, I feel extremely confident. I know it's like anything, you don't know how much you appreciate someone until you're put in crisis. And what I see from our city staff makes me proud to be your mayor every day. And that goes from the fire department to solid waste to police department, planning, all these different groups, that I feel confident that no matter what happens here in our community, that we've got the team in place to be able to tackle that. And I think that also goes without saying. We've said in Murfreesboro for years that one of the biggest things that we have here is our healthcare community, and our healthcare community absolutely needs to be commended for what they're doing. I mean, they're the front line right now. This is not something that you've got a military or you've got a police department that can fight this. This is our healthcare providers, and we are blessed in this community to be able to have the people, like my very first one of these I did, someone like Paul Patel. When you've got leadership like Joey P., you've got leadership like Gordon Ferguson, who are making sure that the people that need to be seeing these patients have the ability to do that. And so for that, I want to let y'all know, to our medical community, I'm thankful for what you're doing for this community and what you're doing for our families. You're saving lives, and you're making Murfreesboro look better every single day. So thank you for what you're doing. And with that, I think that's a good point to close out. I will see y'all soon. We'll do this as soon as we have some more information that comes about. Stay safe and stay at home. Thank you.